First off, you must make sure that you have met the requirements for raiding. Refer to the raiding page. If you want to come to any scheduled raids, you must sign up for the event on your calendar. If you feel that there might be a chance that you will not be able to make the raid at the scheduled time, sign up as tentative. Raid leaders will use this to determine if the scheduled raid will take place or if we will modify the raid schedule. As an example, if we have a 25-man raid set up, but only 11 people signed up, we'll probably then change it to a 10-man raid, or vice versa. In some cases, raids may be cancelled altogether if there is a low amount of members signed up. If you do not sign up for raids on the calendar and want to come to the raid, be aware that you will go onto a waiting list or may not be allowed to raid at all. In some cases, we will fill the raid spots with pugs before filling them with the wait list, depending on what the raid encounters may require. Raids may need a healer and only DPS on the wait list. We will pug the spots versus bringing in the members from the waitlist. If you log in during raids and would like to be added to the waitlist, please contact the raid leader so he or she could add your name to the waitlist. Members who have signed up for 3 raids and not shown up will also be placed on the waitlist or prevented from raiding at all. Depending on the raid content and the raid build, we will work in people on the waitlist when it is probable. If you are on the waitlist, you are expected to be available in-game. If you choose to log an ult during this time, please notify the raid leader and be logged into vent. Please be logged into the game and ready for the raid invites 5 minutes before the scheduled start time. Those that fail to be ready when raid invites start may be placed on the waitlist. If you signed up for a raid, please be prepared to spend 2 to 4 hours in raid. If something comes up, sometimes things happen, please let the raid leaders know that you have to leave. This will help to keep the raid running smoothly. If you just log out, raid leaders may waste time waiting to see if perhaps you just DC'd, wasting the time of the entire raid. Raid leaders or officers may choose to use a role matrix when deciding who to remove from raid. We do this to allow things to be fair to all the raiders. Using the matrix, we will look at the +4 versus the -4. In such, each member in raid will gain positives and negatives based on status, skill, gear, attitude, dependability, and following raid protocol. Raid leaders or officers have the right to remove any parties from the raid with or without any stated reasons. At this time, we are not using DKP or EPG, although we may implement this in the near future. Raid groups will follow the standard loot rules on gear that drops master loot settings. MS role for main spec. If you have already received an item as MS, then your role will be passed over for someone who has not. If no one needs the item for main spec, then an OS role will be issued for those who may need it for off spec. Off spec is defined by whatever dual spec you have that you are not using during the raid. If no one needs the gear for either MS or OS, the gear will be DE'd or sold and placed in the guild bank. All BOE items, including green items, skinning, serenites, and patterns, are reserved for the guild. Unwanted loot, including all greens, blues, and purple items, goes to the guild bank for disenchanting, as we may offer free enchants to our members, depending on what mats are available, unless you explicitly want the item.